Fine. Could we just start off with team news first of all?
Yeah, Ben Davies is the only one still that's not been training. So Tanguy and Lucas didn't train for the majority of last week, and only trained the day before the match. But this week we've had a fully fit squad apart from Ben Davies.
Just given the way they play, how do you even begin to prepare for a match against Leeds?
Listen, they have a very unique way of playing. I'm sure it's exciting for the neutral and for their supporters, but we have to focus on ourselves. Yes, they'll pose certain problems and certain situations that might be different to other teams, but we can't worry too much about them. We're ready. We have an idea of how they're going to play and the problems they might cause, but we'll also cause them problems. And it's important that we focus on that.
2 wins out of 2 in the league so far. If you can continue this run, maybe even sneak into those top 4 places, should you be considered for the role full time? And do you actually want it?
I think that's all hypothetical. If we win, if we do this, and I've said all along, my only focus is on the next game. I'm really not silly enough to start thinking ahead of certain situations. My mind has to be on this game tomorrow. And then once that game's out of the way, my mind will be fully focused on the next one. And that's all I have to say on that matter.
Okay. Gareth Bale's agent yesterday said that he's overcome an unnecessary tough ride at Tottenham, but now he's happy and he's enjoying his football. Can you give us an insight into what you've done to help bring that about and what Gareth has done as well?
So I can only go off the back of the last 2 weeks from what I've seen from Gareth. Obviously, I experienced playing with him as well. He's a top professional with immense quality. These last 2 weeks in training, he's been excellent. Obviously, he's produced on the football pitch as well. That's 4 goals in 2 Premier League matches. So he's happy and I'm happy. And that's important. As players, we have to be happy to perform to our best. And I think at the moment, you're seeing Gareth close to his best.
Are you being a little bit modest though, Ryan? What have you done with him to help bring this about?
I don't know. Like I say, I mean, I picked the team. I picked the team from training performances and certain individuals who I feel will help the team within that match. And the game against Southampton, we really felt we needed Gareth because Harry was missing, and we needed someone who we could rely on to produce that moment. We've got so many options in that high end of the pitch, so much quality as well, and such professionals who are working hard each day. So there's difficult decisions to make, but Gareth has proved in the last couple of weeks that he's still got that quality in the final third, and let's hope it continues.
Just last couple from me. Whatever happens with you and this role for the rest of the season, do you think you can play a big part in whether Gareth Bale stays at Tottenham next season or not?
I think those questions and answers are not for me to say. I think Gareth and his parent club, they'll be having conversations once the season's over. But I think it wouldn't be right of us to start thinking of the off season and thinking of next season now, because as a football club, we have to focus on our next 4 matches. And tomorrow is a massive match. I've said it all along. The next game is so important. And that would be the case until the end of the season. Then once the season's done, then I'm sure these conversations will happen. But for the time now, our focus is on the matches.
Jose Mourinho wasn't out of work for very long. He's already got a job for next season with Roma. What was your reaction to that? Were you surprised that he's back so quickly? And have you had any communication with him since you've taken the job at Spurs?
No communication, but good luck to him. Hope he's a success out in Italy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Damish. George.
Thanks, Simon. Hello, Ryan. Ryan, you've been in the job a couple of weeks now. Just wonder, have you got the bug of management? Do you enjoy it?
Listen, I love football. I've said all along when I retired, I knew I'd stay in football because I have a passion for it. It's been my life, my whole life. I have a passion for helping people, and that's why I was coaching the youth team, the 23s, the younger lads. it is a passion. Football's my passion. So at the moment, I'm working in football, so I'm happy.
Do you think possibly, whatever happens at Tottenham, it's obviously there's a place for you, but down the line you'd want to manage on your own somewhere else, at another club maybe?
I'm not thinking about other clubs at the moment. I'm not thinking about 2 years down the line, 6 months. I can't. It's football. You can't do that. 2 months ago or 4 weeks ago, if I started thinking ahead of where I'd like to be or where I thought my pathway that I hear so often in football might take me, it doesn't work like that. I've been involved in the game long enough to know football doesn't work like that. So I'm enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying what I'm doing now, and my focus is on the right now. It has to be, my energy has to be to try and help the team and help this football club over the next 4 matches.
You're enjoying it at the moment, but what's the bit you don't enjoy the most?
I don't know. I can't really answer that question, to be honest. Listen, there's immense pressure, which there should be. It's a case of not enjoying it, but then also enjoying it, because when you represent this football club, there has to be pressure because it's a big football club. I'm enjoying the moment. Of course I am. There's a big game tomorrow for this football club. I know I keep saying it, but it is so true. And my mind, my focus, my energy has to be on that. I can't deviate from that, because then that's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for anyone. So my focus and my energy is on the match tomorrow.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, George. Vicky Sparks.
Hi, Ryan. Good to see you. Just
Hello.
wondering, as a young coach, albeit from a distance, are there things that you take from looking at a manager like Marcelo Bielsa and the way that he approaches the game?
I think as a coach, regardless of how old you are, you look at other people. Of course, you learn things, you learn what to do, and then also what not to do as well sometimes. So I think in football, in life as well, you can't stop learning. You can't stop trying to take things and implement them with yourself if you believe that that's the way to do things. So he's an experienced man. He's been in football for a very long time. He's done a fantastic job at Leeds last season. He's done incredibly well this season as well. But listen, I'm my own man as well. There's so many different coaches that have different ways of working and different beliefs, and you have to be unique. You have to know yourself and know what you believe in. Otherwise, the messages won't come across as organically and as real. So I look at a lot of people, of course I do, but then I also have my own beliefs.
And how would you sum up those beliefs then? I guess in a nutshell, the style of manager that you want to be and the way you approach things.
Probably like any manager, I want to win football matches. I want to help the team. I want to help people get better, because I think footballers, no matter how old you are, you still want to improve. So I think that's important as well. And to try and create a good environment where people feel like they want to come in and work. And I think that's important.
And we've also seen more clarification, hopefully, of fans being able to come back for the final home game of the season against Aston Villa. Just how good and how emotional will that be? It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, amazing. It's hard to look forward to it because we've got a big game tomorrow and another match at the weekend, but it's what we all want to see. It's what we want to see, society getting back to some sort of normality, and spectators and fans being able to come and support their team in person is a great step forward to doing that.
Okay, let's go to James at TalkSport.
Ryan, you've spoken about this game being all you're focused on at the moment. So what has been the key focus in training this week to ensure that you are well prepared to get the result?
Just to make sure we're mentally ready. We know our game plan and how we want to go about the game. We've had 6 days to do that. We've had a couple of days training, a couple of days working. We've been in the classroom as well. So yeah, the focus is on the game, and we'll be ready. We'll be ready to go and compete and hopefully get 3 points.
There was a video that was put out by the club of this 6 versus 4 session, 6 seconds to score. Has that been a real focus, the attacking point of view and trying to score quickly and being as clinical as possible?
I think you, when you train, you try and train and prepare for game situations. You have to work at an intensity that also prepares you for those moments. Yeah, many different moments, many different scenarios we practice in training. Yeah, the lads have been excellent this week. They've been really good. Really ready to work, wanting to compete, and it's difficult to pick 11 players to start on the football pitch because we've had 21 this week that have been working intensely and proved they've got immense quality. So it's going to be difficult, but we'll go there ready. We'll go there prepared, and like I say, we'll hopefully put in a performance that warrants 3 points.
And as a football fan, how do you feel about what Leeds have offered to the Premier League this season? Because it certainly has been something unique.
Yeah, I think every team should play in a different way. They should bring something different. Otherwise, it'd be quite boring if everyone played the same way. I think that's the beauty of the Premier League. You've got so many different styles, so many different beliefs, and so many different challenges as well. And I think that's why the Premier League's the most watched league in the world. And also it's the most difficult league to win and difficult league to win matches in. So listen, he's done incredible. He's done a great job last season. He's done a very good job this season as well. So tomorrow will be a proper test, and we're looking forward to it.
And just finally for me, Dele Alli started just his third Premier League game of the season at the weekend. Do you get the feeling that he's been scarred by what's occurred before, or do you feel like he's ready to move on from that and ready to go back to being the player that I think everybody knows he can be?
No, I can only take Dele and the rest of the players for what I've seen in the last 2 weeks. And I said last week that Dele trained himself into the team last weekend, and he did do that. So whatever's happened in the past has to just remain in the past with Dele. As footballers, as people involved in football, and I think in life as well, you have to live in the moment. You have to live in the here and now. Dele, along with the rest of the group, have shown me that they want to work, they want to compete, and it's been a good environment to work in. So Dele's been excellent.
Thanks, James. Jonathan Ville.
Hi there, Ryan. As previous managers had a fairly close relationship with the chairman, sort of spoke every day with him at the training ground. I was wondering what your sort of relationship with him is like, and what sort of things you're discussing if you're talking to him every day.
No, I've always had a very good relationship with the chairman. As a player, I've returned as a coach, and then he's also given me this responsibility to lead this football club. So yeah, we speak. He's a good man. He cares immensely about this football club. He wants what's best. And we have a good relationship.
Obviously, you are focusing on the games, but have they hinted that you've got a chance to sort of put yourself in the frame if you do well over these next few weeks?
All we've spoke about is the next game. It really has been the next game or the game that's coming up. It has to be. I've said all along, there can't be any thought of what's going to happen in the summer, what's going to happen next season, because then you take your eye off the moment. And the moment, the next game is important for the football club. It's important for me. It's important for the players, the fans, the chairman, everyone. So our focus as a football club is on that at the moment.
And a couple of weeks ago, you said you weren't getting much sleep. Are you able to get a bit more rest now?
Yes, I feel good. I've got lots of energy. I feel good. I'm sleeping. Yeah, I feel okay.
Okay, going to go on to Ali Gold, then we'll finish with Dan and Jerry. Ali.
Hey there, Ryan. You mentioned Lucas and Tongi not being able to train last week. Can I just ask exactly what it was that was stopping them from doing that?
Yeah, so Lucas picked up a knock in the cup final. It was just a knock. It was a bony thing, and just needed a few days to settle down. And then also Tanguy had a bit of a muscle problem, so he only trained a day before the game. But they've trained all week. They've had no problems. No one's had any problems this week apart from Ben, who hasn't trained. So that was the only concerns last week. But this week there's been no problems at all.
And can I just ask you, UEFA announced this week that each national squad will be able to have another 3 players. I think it's 26 for the Euros. Does that give an added, I know they shouldn't really need any more motivation, but can that give a little bit more motivation to the likes of Dele, Harry Winks, even Sergio Reguilon, players that haven't been in their national teams recently?
I'm not sure. It's difficult for me to answer that question because I don't know what's going through their heads, but you don't get in your national teams if you're not performing at your club teams. So the focus, the mindset has to be on to compete in training and hopefully earn a place to start at the weekend or start with your club team. And then everything else will take care of itself.
Sasha, you mentioned obviously Dele's training and how good he'd been. Did he give you everything you asked for in the game?
Absolutely. Yes, I think it was clear to see he was 100% committed. He helped us regain a lot of second balls. He run a lot. He opened a lot of space in for the other attacking players. And most importantly, he had a lot of energy and he felt good, which is pleasing. But like I've said all along, there's so many players that are competing for these positions. There's real competition. I think we've seen that this week in training. Everyone's had the right mentality, and yes, it's difficult to pick a starting 11 because there's so much quality.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ellie. Dan?
Hey, Ryan. Marcelo Bielsa is often said to be a massive influence on Mauricio Pochettino. I'm wondering, did Mauricio ever mention Marcelo? Have you ever had a conversation with Mauricio about him? And even though there's a kind of degree of separation there, do you feel like because Mauricio's influenced you, you've probably got quite similar ideas to Marcelo?
Potentially, I'm not sure. Of course, I know Mauricio had a relationship or has a relationship with Bielsa. He was in his book. He spoke about him. But I feel like I learned a lot of Mauricio. Absolutely, yes. So many things, so many good things on the football pitch and off the football pitch. Mauricio has the connection with him, and I have the connection with Mauricio, of course. But also, I believe that I view the game in certain ways that might be different to Mauricio as well. So it's important as a football person, you have your own views. Yes, there'll be people that influence you and you take stuff from them. But yeah, I also have my own views. Mauricio is a great man. I still speak to him. He's an incredible guy. We have a great relationship. We could speak about football for days. So it's an interesting one.
Will you speak to him about facing Bielsa then?
No, he's a manager at PSG. He's got his own focus, his own goals, and they've got a big end to the season they need to focus on. And likewise with us, we need to focus on our season. We feel prepared. We feel well prepared for this game, and like I said, hopefully we can go there and put in a performance that warrants 3 points. And
can I just pick you up on having differences with Mauricio? Could you be more specific at all? Is there kind of an area of the game where you feel like you've moved away from his philosophy?
No. There's so much details that go into football. It would be strange if two single people believed in every single moment within the game should be a certain way. No specifics. No, there's a way of working. There's a way of viewing the game, and I believe we view the game through the same lens. So, of course, we have our differences, which is absolutely normal.
Thanks,
Dan. Okay, we'll finish with Jerry.
Hi, Ryan. You okay?
Yep, good, thank you.
You've known Harry Kane since you were young lads in the academy. You've come through, and you've seen him close up, and you've seen him from afar, and now you've seen him as a coach, as his coach. Do we underappreciate Harry sometimes? It's this time of the year when the awards are being handed out, and his name is in the frame. But you sometimes wonder if we don't completely grasp how good a player he is.
So I can only speak for myself and this football club. No, we don't underappreciate him. We know he's the best number 9 in the world. One of the best number 9s, in my opinion, the absolute best number 9. As a country, as a nation, do we underappreciate him? Maybe. I'm not too sure. Harry, in my opinion, has been probably the most complete player in the Premier League this season, if not in the whole of Europe. He's proven that every single week, not just with his goals, not just with his assists, but his technical qualities, his understanding of the game, of what to do in certain moments. He's one of the best, absolutely. And he'll go down as one of the best to ever play in the Premier League. There's no doubt about that at all.
And what's it like, having been his mate, or still his mate, but coaching him? Does he take much coaching? Is there much you can show him? Or is it more about involving him in the sort of patterns of play?
Yes, and I love Harry. Everyone loves Harry here. He's one of the most professional guys I've ever come across. As a player, it was amazing to be around. Yes, he's one of my best mates, but at the moment, seeing him work, it's no different to what I've seen over the last 15 years. 100% commitment in every moment. He wants to learn, he wants to improve, and I think that's why you've seen him remain so consistent over the last 5 or 6 years in his goal scoring and his performances, because yes, he's one of the best, but he's also wanting to learn. He's also wanting to improve his game. He works at his game, and listen, there's no doubt Harry's one of the best players in the world.
Fantastic, thanks.
Thanks, Sherry. Okay, that concludes the broadcast part of the press conference. We'll move on to the written part, which is embargoed till 10:30 tonight.